Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for go down the wrong pipe. We're really in trouble. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you stopping by. If you're new here, I'm Carey, a matchmaker, a dating coach, and it's dating advice today. Wouldn't you know it? I wanted to share with you, what am I sharing? Do not expect these 5 things from him when dating. This isn't necessarily about that first date. It's subsequently, shortly after the very early stages of dating that I'm referring to. And I love these 5 things. That's just super fun to compile things that come up from different clients throughout the week or the month and share those with you, or just one problem somebody has and then rack my brain to come up with 4 more. And I love sharing these with you. I hope you enjoy them as well. If you do, subscribe to the channel, hit the ring bell, then you're notified when I have new episodes coming up live, which is every week, Wednesday and Friday, around noon, unless the internet's being rude. So that's what you can expect from me. Let's get right to this right now. 5 things to not expect from him. 1, for him to pay. I know that most women, if you are on Instagram, I see people try to get a lot of attention on a post by sharing that he didn't pay, and what do you think? She's never going to see him again. And it's just trying to create controversy because people will always want to share their opinions on whether somebody should share that check, the bill, the tab on a first date, or whether the man should pay. And I think it's different for different people. And I don't think that you should have the expectation that somebody's going to pay your way. Very, very often on the dates that I send matchmaking clients on, the gentleman, I tell him to pay. I know he can well afford it, or he wouldn't be working with a matchmaker, have outsourced his dating life, as it were, and I know the places I'm picking are not going to break his bank for the month or blow his budget. So I always have my guys pay for the first date. It's typically not a dinner date anyway. I'm not a fan of the first date dinner date, and especially because the dates I'm planning are blind dates. So I love the idea of cocktails and appetizers, and I think one person can handle that tab. But I always tell my gals when they say, how do I handle that? When it's my female client and she's going out with a man that I maybe haven't discussed this with, I always tell my gals, offer to share the tab with him. And if he says, no, I've got it, then say one more time, are you sure? And if he insists on paying the bill, then just be very grateful, as we would be when somebody else is choosing to treat us, and let him pay the bill. And I think that if somebody says, hey, why don't you leave the tip, or yeah, let's just throw in a few bucks each, or don't be surprised, because things are changing. And going Dutch, as they used to say back in the day, is what the younger people are doing all the time. They could be dating for 2 years, and when they go out, they're still alternating who pays or splitting a tab, and the other person will Venmo the other one half of the bill the next day. So it's very, very common amongst the younger people who are dating the first go around, who aren't out there again after a 20, 30-year hiatus of being married and getting back out there. So it's not the same as it used to be. It's different, and be prepared for anything. Number 2, don't expect for him to reply to your texts as quickly as you may be choosing to reply to his. I don't think you could say at the very early stages of a relationship that he's just not interested because he isn't responding in what you consider a timely manner. Different people have different communication styles, different texting styles. In fact, when I have a new client, I always ask them, do you prefer to text or phone or email? What's your preferred form of communication? And I let them know that I am available by text. It is my preference, and that I will get back to them that day, unless it's late in the day when they message me, that they can have that expectations. And I think it's nice for people to know that that's my speed. But when you're dating somebody, are you going to say, well, what's your communication style? I think eventually, after a couple dates, you're well within reason to say, I hope it doesn't bother you that I text, 3 times in a row waiting for you to respond. I'm just I'm very communicative, and I like being in touch during the day. but don't have expectations of what he is supposed to be doing just because that's what you prefer or that's what you do. Everybody's different, and hopefully you're quickly and very soon at a place where you can have a conversation about it and even say to the person, it makes me feel so great when you respond right away when I text. I just enjoy that instant gratification of being able to communicate with you in the middle of the day or something like that. Number 3, and I hate to go here, I did a whole episode recently on this. That episode is about when you should sleep with somebody. And I would say don't expect him to call you again if you slept with him on a first date. And I have no judgment whatsoever. You can watch that episode and I think you will agree and be assured that I do believe it's up to you when you want to move that relationship into something more physical. But I will say statistically, and this isn't a deal breaker for a lot of people to, have a sexual relationship after a first date is very normal for a lot of people, but there is an increase. I think I'm going into a double negative here. I don't want to do that. It's more likely statistically that you won't hear from him again. Don't be surprised, I guess is what I'm saying. Don't have expectations that he will, and be surprised if you've slept with him on a first date. It's more likely than if you are taking a little bit more time to get acquainted before having a physical relationship, that you will continue to get to know this person and allow them more time to develop feelings where they will be calling you and making plans for a next date. So up to you what you want to do, but statistically speaking, it could happen. Number 4, do not expect that he will have experienced the same amazing chemistry that you did on a first date, and that you'll certainly be hearing from him because you felt it was just magical, and so he must have also. This was a huge awakening for me many, many years ago. I've shared the story before. I'll tell you again. But clients, they get to do that feedback form after a date and share with me whether they want to see this person again or whether they don't. And very often one person describes an amazing date to me and 5-star date all the way. Yes, it was awesome. I definitely want to see this person again. And the other person said they were very nice, very kind. I had a lovely evening, but we had just zero chemistry. So I don't think it's going to work. It happens in my work all the time, but when I first became aware of this, so now I know that this happens, but the first time I became aware was when watching very, very early seasons of The Bachelor. Did I tell you this story? They were in the hot tub, and the cutaway, the voiceover was the woman who was in the hot tub with the Bachelor. And she says, "Oh my gosh, I am not even worried about the 20 other women in the house who I'm sharing this guy with, because our chemistry is palpable. I know that nobody else can be sharing this with him." And they're making out in the hot tub. That's what the camera's showing. And she said, "Nobody else can have this, so I'm not worried at all. I've got the lead in this contest, as it were, because nobody's going to top this awesome chemistry we share." And then they go to The Bachelor, and he says, "She's an amazing girl. Really enjoy her company, but we just don't have any chemistry." And I thought, wow, I didn't know that one person could feel that so strongly. You assume the other person is feeling the feeling because chemistry is energy between two people, but you can be duped. You can be tricked by your own chemistry that makes you think the other person is feeling it also, which is not always the case. So if you leave a first date thinking, of course, he's going to probably call me as soon as he gets home because our chemistry is off the charts, you may never hear from him again. Or you may. Who knows? But it's don't count on it. And number 5, finally, do not expect him to chase you and play that game if you are playing hard to get. And more so, especially if you are somebody in my over 50 crowd who has dated previously and you're dating somebody now who is over 40, over 50, over 60 even. People who have done this whole dating thing before are over the game playing. They don't enjoy it. They don't appreciate it. And they just consider it manipulation. So I would think that if you're playing games, don't expect him to play along, is the expectation there. That I would think you should not expect. I think that people truly do, after a certain amount of dating, appreciate sincerity and somebody being forthcoming and honesty and authenticity. So game playing isn't necessary. You don't have to like make arbitrary rules as to when you're going to reach out to somebody or if you're going to let them know you're interested. If you like somebody, let them know you're interested. That makes them more interested in you. People want to be seen. They want to be appreciated. They want to know you liked them. And why keep them waiting or guessing? Honesty is actually better in the long run in this situation for sure. I hope you found one, two, some of these, all of these helpful or fun. If you did, please give the episode a thumbs up. And then if you would subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. We can hang out again. The ring bell lets you know every time I upload a new episode, so you can run on over and catch the latest. And I will look forward to having you back again soon. Until I see you here next time, thanks again and have a good one.